like it's cute. Then she had another thing coming. This time, I didn't wait until the next day. I simply shook her awake. Mom, what? So I just met Pedro. Her eyes were immediately filled with fear, but instead of trying to defend herself, or yelling at me for being a spy, she burst into tears and wrapped her arms around me. Even through the anger, I instinctively stroked her hair. First, sat down in the bed beside her and decided that even she deserves to be listened to. But what she said next just angered me even more. Mom, I met up with him, but he didn't show up. And his friend, she was then interrupted by bursting into tears again. I thought he was a good person, Mom. I'm sorry. It didn't take long to piece together what she was saying. Someone had stolen my daughter's innocence and I was going to make them pay. I circled the university pool area the following evening, keeping a safe distance while recording the friend, Marcus's predatory routine through my phone's zoom lens. He leaned in close to a petite blonde girl who couldn't have been more than 18, whispering something that made her giggle nervously, her cheeks flushing. His hand slid from her back to her waist with practiced ease, pulling her closer as if testing boundaries. I zoomed in, capturing every moment of his calculated manipulation, my blood boiling as I recognized the same tactics Annalise had described. The blonde's friend approached, looking concerned, and Marcus immediately switched his demeanor like flipping a switch, stepping back slightly and adopting a casual, almost brotherly stance. The performance was Oscar-worthy. As soon as the friend wandered back to the snack table, he was right back at it, this time offering the girl another drink from a silver flask he pulled from his pocket. My stomach churned violently as I watched him add something to her cup when she glanced away at a commotion by the diving board. This was the exact playbook he'd used on Annalise. I'd seen enough. I pocketed my phone and marched toward them, channeling every ounce of maternal fury in my 5'6" frame. Just as I approached, a burly fraternity brother with a crew cut stepped directly into my path, his muscled arms crossed over his chest. Hey, you don't look like a student, he said, eyeing my mom jeans and sensible shoes with suspicion. Who are you with? I hadn't planned for this obstacle. I'm looking for my nephew, Pedro Martinez, I improvised, forcing a casual smile. He told me to meet him out here. The guy's eyes narrowed skeptically. Pedro Alvarez? He's inside. Great, thanks, I said brightly, attempting to step around him, but he shifted to block me again, his movement fluid despite his size. Actually, why don't I take you to him? He gripped my arm firmly, not enough to hurt, but enough to make it clear I wasn't getting past him alone. I glanced back at Marcus, who was now leading the blonde girl toward a side door of the house, his hand possessively on the small of her back. My window of opportunity was closing fast. Fine, I conceded, allowing myself to be escorted back inside the crowded, beer-soaked house. The frat brother guided me through rooms packed with dancing students, his hand still firmly on my arm. When we reached the kitchen, Pedro was nowhere to be seen among the beer pong players and couples making out against the refrigerator. Looks like he stepped out, the guy said, his tone making it clear he knew I'd invented the connection. Maybe you should come back another time. I nodded, feigning defeat, and headed for the front door, the bass-heavy music thumping in my chest. Once outside, I circled around to the side of the house where I'd seen Marcus taking the girl. There was a separate entrance there, likely to a basement or private room. I tried the door handle. Locked. Cursing under my breath, I peered through a small window smudged with fingerprints. The basement was dimly lit with colored LED strips, but I could make out a seating area with several people lounging on mismatched couches. No sign of Marcus or the blonde. I needed a new approach. I couldn't just break in, and I couldn't risk getting thrown out before gathering more evidence. I returned to my car and called Annalise, my heart racing. Mom? She answered immediately, her voice tight with worry. Are you okay? I'm fine, I assured her, watching the frat house for any sign of Marcus. But I need more information.